Today, we're going to be going over the basics of reporting. Reporting within your TechnoMile Growth Suite is a very open-ended process. We're going to be going over the basics. There's a lot more to learn about reporting, and I highly recommend looking at additional information, but we're going to be going over a basic report on how to generate a sales funnel. So let's first log into Growth. From within Growth, we can select the Reports tab. Next, we can click New Report. So up here at the top right, we'll click New Report. And the first question it's going to ask is what report type we want. This has to do with the objects that are going to be involved in the report. So in this case, we're just looking at an opportunities report. So we can select opportunities, and we'll select the actual opportunity report type. Again, there's a much more to report types. It's a little hard to cover in a single video, but please ask questions to your CSM if you have them. We're going to start the report. This will give us the base report that is defined by the report type. So there's a couple things to note here. Up here in the top left, it starts on outline, and this shows you your columns that are currently included in the report. Anything down here will be listed out here across the rows or across the columns in your results. You're able to remove columns by clicking the X. So any columns that you don't need to see, it is highly recommended to get rid of them so that your users don't get cluttered information. Additionally, when you've made changes, you'll notice the screen over here goes dark. You can click refresh, and that'll update the records. Over here on the right as well, you can also have it update preview automatically. That does occasionally slow down the reporting. So depending on how complex your report is, it can be recommended to leave that off. In the top left, up here, you'll see groups. This is how you can group your data. So since we're making a sales funnel, we're going to group our data by stage. When we refresh again, you'll notice that it will show you your records now grouped by stage. One more important thing to note is this message right here, that you are previewing a limited number of records. So we have more than 12 records in the system, but that's all it's going to show us during the preview. So that is an important thing to note, that while you're in this edit mode, it will not try and run the full report. Otherwise, it would be very slow. If you're ever interested in seeing what actual results come back, you can click this run button in the top right. And you can click this during, so we'll click it now. It will run the full report. It'll show us what we get back. And then we can go back into edit mode. Next up is the filters. So over here, next to outline, we see filters. This is going to tell us which records are being returned. So in this case, we're going to return all opportunities where the close date is in the current fiscal quarter. We can change this and say, show me all opportunities that are in the current fiscal year by doing this. So now, current close date is current fiscal year. This remains dynamic, which means I'm recording this, I believe, in October. So come January, it will now automatically change this report and show you everything in fiscal year 2025. So now you'll notice, if we click run, there are more records. There are now 168 records versus the 12 that came back previously. Now that we've ordered it by stage, we can also then go ahead and add a chart. Let's add a chart. And then we can configure this chart. So we'll click on the chart properties, and we'll do a funnel since we're doing a sales funnel. Finally, we'll do show values. And then we can choose what we actually want to order it by. Well, we only have record count because we click edit. Over here for amount, any field that's in blue can be a little hard to see probably on this recording, but any field that's in blue means that it can be summarized. So if we click on it, you can actually see how you want to summarize it. So we'll select sum for amount because that's how we want to summarize our stage values. We'll click apply. We'll click run again. And now back in the chart properties, currently we have value as record count. Let's change that to sum of amount. And now this chart will change and it'll show us our sales funnel by stage by amount. Additionally, you will have your legend over here on the right to see exactly which stages are included. Let's say we don't want to include our closed opportunities. We can do that as well. So we'll click edit again. And back in filters, over here by opportunity status, we can actually change this to say, only show me open opportunities. And after that, we can run it again, and you'll notice that the closed lost and closed won have all fallen off. There's a lot more you can do with reports. I highly recommend investigating it further. It's a very broad topic, but hopefully this gives you an idea of what you can do with the fields available.